My next story was posted by a now deleted user. I caught my husband having sex with his mistress in the car with our baby in the back seat.
Welcome back to the Daydream Arcade. I'm Darryl. This is my co-host Brianna, and this is Spicy Reddit Stories, where we read some of the most tea-filled Reddit stories that we can find and give our thoughts on them. A lot of you have been saying that this is one of your favorite shows, and if you're new here, this is your new favorite show.
Welcome.
We're making it your new favorite show. Brianna, what subreddit are we doing today?
Oh man, we're getting some spicy ass little true off my chest stories, dude. Ooh, have you ever had a secret that you never told a soul?
Yes.
Yeah? I haven't.
Before we get started here, I just wanted to say one thing. I know it's crazy out there. I know that it's a scary time for a lot of people, but I hope that this can be a place where you can come and just escape for a little bit.
Have a little smile.
That,
have a little laugh.
Yeah. We're here to put some smiles on some faces. That's our motto for 2025.
Yeah.
Daydream Arcade, putting smiles on faces.
That's all that matters.
Putting smiles on faces since 2025 because we were never doing that before.
Nope. Established 2025. All right, let's get into these, shall we?
Yeah.
So my first story here is posted by Impressive Golf 8178. My daughter's friend called me dad. My daughter Lily, 16 female, has a friend named Kira, 16 turning 17 in 2 weeks. It's usually one of two situations. Either Kira is at our house or Lily is at hers. They are very close. Kira lives with her grandparents because, from what I understand, her dad abused her physically and sexually. It's very sad. One day, Kira was at our house while I was making dinner. She walked up to me and asked, "Hey dad, what are you making?" I looked at her and said, "Did you just call me dad?" Kira started crying and seemed really sad. I think it was a sweet moment, but now I feel really bad about it.
Man. I mean, it is one of those moments that's kind of just out of the blue, and asking her, "Did you just call me dad?" You could have you could have been like,
Yeah.
"What the fuck did you just call me?"
What? I'm not your dad. Yeah, no. I think it just caught him off guard, and he was like, "Huh?"
Yeah.
But yeah, I imagine it was like a very vulnerable moment for Kira, and she was like, Yeah. There is a tiny little update.
Yeah, let's go.
Here's an update. I saw Kira in the bathroom doing her makeup. I walked up and said, "Hey, Kira, can we talk?" She said yes. I looked at her and said, "I'm sorry for the way I reacted. I was just super surprised. I love the fact that you called me dad. You're kind of like a second daughter to me. I'm not offended, and Lily isn't offended either." Kira said, "My dad used to beat me, so I never really had a good father. My grandfather is very emotionally distant. You're the closest thing to a father that I have." I gave her a hug and a kiss on her head. Then I took my girls to get ice cream.
Oh, my girls!
That's so cute, dude. That is really sweet.
That is really sweet.
I love like parents that just adopt their children's like best friends or just like friends or whatever. Like that's so sweet to me. My mom was kind of like that. Like all of my friends loved my mom and always like came to her and shit. Like I talked to her and stuff. So that was really cool to have.
Yeah. What's going on in the background? It sounded like
Shadow.
know like Discord picks up stuff. Oh, it sounded like a spray bottle, like when it's on the stream setting where it's like psst, psst, psst.
Yeah, it's Shadow trying to get out. Hold on. One moment, please.
Just trying to make an escape.
Could you see her like jumping up and scratching the fucking door?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, I shouted, I was like, "You should bring her on camera." And then I looked at my camera, like, I don't think she can hear me.
No.
Yeah, honestly, a couple of years from now, Lily and Kiara could be hanging out together, and Kiara could just be like, "Hey, you remember when I went up to your dad and I called him dad, and he was just like, 'Did you just call me dad?'" And they could have a good laugh about it.
I know, yeah. She's 16, like she's a little baby, like that's really wholesome. I'm glad that OP seems like he literally just adopted her. Just took her in. We love that.
Fuck Kira's dad.
Fuck Kira's dad, by the way.
I hate that. Grandfather being emotionally distant. That's kind of par for the course of grandfathers.
That checks out.
It's not their fault. They went through the depression.
They went through World
Any
War II.
soul that they had was gone after that.
Yeah.
Man. Speaking of the depression, this is obviously free plug. This guy's a lot. This guy doesn't need a plug from us, but Dylan Hollis. He does a lot of. I found him on TikTok. Rest in peace, kinda.
What?
He did. His whole shtick was making like vintage recipes from like. A lot of them from like the depression, but also just long, old recipes.
Oh, yes. I know what you're talking about. Yes, I do. I get it.
I was like, he's about to get an even bigger plug because I'm about to pull up a video on my phone.
I remember this one video he did. He made like an old cake, and it was kind of weird.
Yeah, a lot of the stuff he makes are like really weird, but my favorite part is when he makes something that you wouldn't necessarily think is good, and he eats it. One time, I actually knew ahead of time because my mom had made this recipe. It was a chocolate cake, but made with mayo. It like makes it like moist.
Okay.
And it doesn't taste like mayo.
Okay.
There was also another one that had sauerkraut. Or maybe it was the sauerkraut cake. It was a sauerkraut cake. I think that's
what it was.
Yeah, a sauerkraut cake. My mom once made a chocolate cake with sauerkraut in it. And we were like, oh, this is going to be gross. And it's surprisingly, the tardiness, from like the pickling of the sauerkraut, I forgot what it was for a second there. It's not there. For some reason, it just magically disappears. For some reason, chocolate just like chocolate will mask almost anything. It's so strange. It is the strangest thing that we have on this planet. Chocolate. It was like, do you like coconut?
I remember when they first invented chocolate. What?
Yeah. My eyes. Like,
you said, yeah.
What was I saying?
I don't know.
Chocolate. Oh, I was asking if you like toasted coconut or like coconut in dessert.
Oh, I don't usually have it a lot, but when I do, it's not bad. I enjoy like the sweetness it adds to it, and like I like the texture.
Yeah, that's how I would say that the sauerkraut and the cake was. I'm pretty sure Dylan said it, but I'm not sure. But it reminded me of coconut. Okay. It's a chocolate cake with coconut inside.
So guess who wants to come back
when
into my room?
When you come here, we'll make it. I'm about to bake Shadow into a cake.
Okay.
If she... All right, we're going to not read Reddit stories. We're going to bake Shadow into a cake. Come on, everybody. Cat cake time. Oh, my God. Her little legs. Oh, my God. It's the Shadow dance. I'm sorry. Are those Nightmare Before Christmas sweatpants?
Sweatpants, yes. And a purple.
They didn't look purple from that angle, but maybe.
Yeah, it's because of the lighting.
Yeah.
All right. Well, this is very wholesome. Dad, you're great.
Here's to dads.
Here's to dads being fucking present.
And chocolate cake. I love how we always say your turn, even though we.
Your turn.
All right. My first post was posted by Repulsive Pianist 114.
Pianist.
I have a repulsive pianist. I shit my pants during job interview last week.
I love that I shit my pants during job interview.
I also didn't do the thing where we'll throw in a word if it makes sense to make the sentence more cohesive. I just read it out.
During job interview.
Yeah, I was like, there's nothing wrong here. I know this sounds absurd, but exactly what the title reads. I had a job interview last week, and I shit my pants during it. I do not know what messed up my stomach, but just before the interview, I felt that burning urge of going to the toilet. I felt something was wrong, but hoped I could sort it out by 10 minutes. Boy, I was wrong. I literally shit my bowels out and still felt like doing more. I checked my phone, and it was time for the interview. I did not want to delay it, as it was the final round with the COO of the company. What the fuck, is this a boxing match? You have to go 12 rounds with the COO. You want this job? You gotta get these hands.
I'm gonna get these hands.
I joined the interview call after cleaning myself. We started the interview, and I could hear roaring noises coming from my bowels, and I was sweating. And it's like the COO was like, and anyway, so Johnson, we're gonna bring you on next week if you can. I smell shit.
Yikes. I think this is a Zoom call, though.
It was that bad. It was just that bad.
You smelled it through the PC.
Yeah, I forgot. As you check the phone, it was time for the the interview call. Woo!
Woo!
I wished for the interview to end quickly, but the COO asked and asked questions, I assume. In the end, I could not hold it up anymore and literally shit my pants.
Damn.
The COO told me I'm a great fit for the position, and I got the final offer. 3 times annual salary of what I previously made with great benefits. I did not know if I should cry or laugh at the time. I just left the call after the final sayings. I had to throw my chair out and get a new one. It was a shitty interview with a great ending. I'll probably tell this one to my grandchildren in the future.
Yeah, dude.
For now,
you're
reading it to strangers on Reddit.
If any of your grandchildren are ever like, I'm really nervous for this interview, like, I don't know what's going to happen, be like, hey, I shit myself during mine, and I still got it.
Yeah, so, you know what? You'll probably get the job.
Anything could happen.
Yeah. It's like, okay, Grandpa.
All right, Grandpa. Here's your oatmeal.
Yep. Speaking of shitting your pants, looks like you did it just now. Time to go clean you up, Grandpa.
Grandpa.
Oh, and I can tell you about the time that I bought the Denny's franchise.
Dumbass.
God, you did it on a Zoom call, a Teams interview, or whatever the hell. Just
at least it wasn't in person. That would be so much worse.
You could have muted yourself. You know,
yeah.
my Stream Deck here, damn, my Elgato Stream Deck. you just I mean, yeah, because I'd assume it was loud because given the roaring noises coming from my bowels.
Well, yeah, but probably inside. You know when you have like a really bad stomach ache and it starts making weird stomach noises? I don't think.
I mean when he was shitting himself. When he shit himself, he could have like.
That would be wild if it actually made noise.
Do you not make noise when you shit?
If it's in the toilet, it's so much different because it echoes and stuff, and like it makes it way louder than it actually is.
Well, yeah, but a chair doesn't like. It can probably like it deadens the sound of like a fart, but if you're like full on shitting yourself when you got like a tsunami going on in your guts and shit, I would imagine there's gonna be some sound. Maybe like a
fart.
Bestie, I love you, but I feel like you're greatly underestimating the power of I shit myself. Like, because if you shit yourself.
Okay. No, but so every time that I have shit myself, it has been like not really solid. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It has been like the runs, and that doesn't really make noise. It's just kind of like, oh, fuck. You know?
I'm imagining you being in this position. They're like, you finally close the deal with your new COO, and then and then you're like, they're smiling and like because they can't shake your hand to the screen, obviously, and then you're just like,
oh fuck.
Rihanna, are you okay?
Are you
Miss
good?
Diaz, are you okay?
Holy shit, dude.
I'm sorry. Did you not want me to use your last name?
No, I don't care.
People are gonna find it.
People
Our
are gonna
names
find
over
it.
names
It's okay.
eventually, but oh my god.
That is so fucking funny. But yeah, hey, you got the job. That's all that matters.
Yeah.
You were,
Meanwhile,
dare I
us
say,
idiots.
the shit. Okay. All right.
Oh my god, wait, I have to this one comment. Great, when can you short?
That's so stupid. All right,
Oh,
when can you
next one.
short?
All right, let's go. Let's go to the next one.
Okay. Okay. Whew. All right. This next story was posted by user I'm Online Forever.
Oh god, that sounds like hell.
My parents were family vloggers. It ruined my life. I, 23 female, was raised by parents who family vlogged. They began vlogging in 2013, almost by accident as a video of my brother went viral. It was something I disliked from the beginning as I was a shy child and that didn't fit in with what my parents wanted from me and my siblings. I want to share my story to raise awareness, but please don't try and guess who me/my family are as it will start a fight with my parents I'm not in a position to deal with yet. At the peak of their fame, my parents had around 2 million subscribers. The main demographic was mainly adult men, and now, as an adult, I realized that their content was catered towards these men. I was one of 5 girls, all a year apart in age, and those 5 years were an absolute gold mine for my parents. Period videos, getting first bras, having first kisses, all a massive hit with middle-aged creepy men. We eventually ended up being homeschooled so that we didn't have any external distractions and we weren't allowed to make friends unless they were also a part of family vlogging channels. Our parents only posted good things. On camera, it looked like our family was perfect when in reality my dad was abusing my mom. They were arguing constantly and my dad ended up having an affair. The channel ended when my mom found out and they divorced, which nobody online knows. They blew through the money on drinking, drugs, and vacations they went on without us. I barely have a relationship with my parents because I can't forgive them for taking my privacy away from me.
Whoa.
That's nuts.
I was just like I just looked up because I'm trying to remember that mom that is, I believe, in prison, who was like a family vlogger. Ruby Frank?
Yeah. Ruby Frankie?
Ruby Frankie? Okay.
Yeah. I remember
I didn't know if I couldn't remember if the E was silent or not.
They were evil though, because they like fully abused like their kids.
Yeah.
And it kind of sounds like these people also did. But oh my god.
You know what it also reminds me of? Are you familiar with like the van life parents?
I think I've heard of them.
Van life families, or like the families that take their kids camping on the road and whatnot, and they have the problems there are just the privacy and the fact that there is absolutely none.
Yeah.
I can't remember who it was, but they taught this couple, obviously a married couple. I can't remember how many kids they had, but there was a whole thing where they were talking about that they still have sex and stuff like that, like in the trailer, but it's like
I hate that.
divided by like a sheet.
Hate it. Hate it.
Yeah.
Hate that.
I can't
so
remember.
much.
Maybe people in the comments can jog my memory for me, please, because I'm a stupid idiot.
That's wild as fuck.
But
yeah, you can tell like all of those family vloggers are just unhinged.
Yeah.
Unhinged. Because it's like, why would you film literally every single thing that your child is doing?
There's a lot of morals that you have to bend if you want to be that type of creator, I feel, and I'm not about the how complicated that all is, because it's just you're raising your kids, but you're doing it. There's this weird reward of, oh, the family's making a lot of money, and kind of acting up for the cameras. You know, getting your kids to act out or do something just for clout. and for money. It's just very yucky.
Very, very yucky. But yeah, it's not surprising that the main demographic is adult men, which is very weird. Y'all all need to be arrested and be put on a list.
This one, at first, I had to read twice the title, but this was posted by
Me too. I had this story at first, but then I replaced it with another one.
Was it because of the title, or you just found a better one?
No, I found a better one. Like, I read it, and I was like, meh.
Yeah. Meh. This is posted by Bad Petty Ass Daughter. No one but my mother and I know that almost every meal I make for her is revenge. I've never told anyone this, not even my husband, but it happened again tonight, and I'm feeling a bit giddy because of how well it worked again, so I want to brag. I'm aware I'm a piece of shit. Part of why I haven't told anyone. When I was little, my mother wanted to use corporal punishment on me. Not my siblings, never my siblings, but because I was such a bad kid, she wanted my dad to hit me. My dad flat out refused and told her that if she did, she wouldn't be able to stay with her because he didn't want anyone hitting his kids. My dad was abused pretty bad as a kid. Whole other story. Can't get into it too much or we'd be here all day. So instead, whenever my mom was mad at me, she would give me spicy food to eat, even though I hated it and it made me sick. Like full-on stomach cramps, diarrhea, the fucking works. She would only do it when my dad was at work, which was most nights at dinner. And whenever I asked for something else to eat, she would break down and cry over how much time she spent on my food, and I don't love her. Guilting me into hurting myself. Well, when I turned 16, I was meant to start taking over more of the chores in the house, including cooking dinner twice a week. My mother hates pasta. She hates it. It's a texture thing and claims it's always slimy. Well, first of all, you're probably not getting your pasta cooked right. And second of all, if you don't like pasta, I don't want to throw the C word out there, but you're fucking crazy. Like, pasta is just,
the best.
Even just the most simplest thing, like buttered noodles. Bro, I fucking love buttered noodles. One brilliant night at 16, after my father began working morning shifts, I was mad at her for screaming at me earlier in the day, and I realized I could do something about it. Since that night, one of the only meals I have cooked for my mother is pasta. I load it with sauce, and sometimes make things like baked spaghetti because she hates the way the top of it looks. What? Whenever she's turned to do this is starting to sound like an anti-pasta campaign. Whenever she's tried to turn it down, I put on Waterworks and shake and look at the table. You've always eaten it before. What did I do wrong? Are you mad at me, Mom? And because either my dad or my husband or other people whose opinion she cares about is there, she's never called me out. I'm 26 years old, and I intend to do this for every meal we share, or until she cuts me off. I'm not going to be seen as the bad guy here for not keeping the family together. I honestly don't care if this makes me a bad guy. She sucked. And this is my pettiest form of revenge. Shut up, phone. Watching her try to keep a straight face while choking down chicken Alfredo is the highlight of my week this week.
That is iconic. Honestly,
I am struggling
good for her.
to figure out how anyone could hate chicken Alfredo.
I
mean, unless you're a vegetarian or a vegan. But
yeah, that's fair. I don't know what this mom's issue is, but she's kind of insane.
It's like you couldn't hit your kids, so you gave them spicy food instead. That made them sick.
That's pretty evil.
That is very evil.
Pretty evil. And good on the dad for sticking up for her.
That's like classic Disney evil. You know,
yeah.
Animated films like Bad Moms or Bad Stepmoms or Step Parents.
Yeah.
Just
literally like a fairy tale.
Mm-hmm.
Storybook
it would
evil.
be like, yeah, the mom would be sitting at the end of the table while, you know, the daughter is just has this very like radioactive, like red looking chicken or something on her plate, and then at the end the mom just has just a bountiful feast, and all she has is just radioactive chicken, radioactively spicy chicken,
that is
while the
hilarious.
animals look on in horror from the outside.
Horror.
horror.
I look on in horror.
The birds are looking on and it's horrible. You're killing your daughter.
Fuck this mom. I am all for this pettiness. Keep making her feel bad and having her eat things she doesn't like because she did it to you. God damn it.
Yeah, she's trying to scarf down the chicken Alfredo and she's just like...
Oh, I hated that. That was wild.
Right? I was scared that I was going to drown on my Red Bull.
I was too. I was like...
Guys, we can't upload this video. Darryl died.
Darryl died, I guess.
I pray for anybody out there that doesn't like pasta or chicken Alfredo or any pasta dish of any kind, because there's so many things that you can do with pasta. There's so many different flavor combinations and so many preparations that you can do. If you don't like anything, if you can't spend the like minimum average of like 75 to 80 years of life settling on a pasta dish that you like, if there's an afterlife, you will be judged harshly. And I hope that you are. Anyway.
Yep.
I say that with love.
Yep.
I love you all. Let's move on to the next story.
All right. Okay. So.
There's some people that are going to be like, ew! He blew a kiss at me.
Ew, he blew a kiss at me. Get it out. All right. My next story was posted by a now deleted user. I caught my husband having sex with his mistress in the car with our baby in the back seat. My husband and I have been married for almost 10 years. We have 3 kids, 5, 3, and 9 months. Around 2.5 years ago, I discovered he was having an affair that had been going on for around 6 months. We separated for some time. I went to therapy. We went to marriage counseling. We took about 10 months apart and supposedly working on ourselves and working on our marriage before officially getting back together. During that initial reunion phase, we surprise conceived our youngest. Until very recently, my husband had seemed very committed to fixing what he had destroyed in our marriage. He jumped through all of the hoops, or I thought he had. Believe me, I read the books and I followed the rules and I made all of the demands. And he did everything he was asked to do. It wasn't always smooth sailing. He'd push back sometimes, he got defensive, we argued, it hurt a lot. But I truly believed we were continuing our path of overcoming what he had done. Sorry if you hear my dog barking in the background, she's going insane. I felt like our relationship was strong. For the first time in our entire relationship, I felt like we were finally operating as a team. I can't say that my full trust in him ever completely returned, but I was dealing with this in therapy. We were dealing with it. It was okay for me to not trust 100% yet, and we both understood it was a process, and trust had to be replenished piece by piece. I lived with this and continued to work on it. Recently, I started to feel suspicious in a way I couldn't ignore. It was like he was being too nice to me, too attentive, too willing to be of service for whatever I wanted or needed. This was actually the first thing that tipped me off. He was being too good of a husband. Then I realized he was doing things that he never really did before. Offering to do the big grocery shopping trips, taking the kids to new parks, running to pick up food on the occasion we ordered out. He always opted to have food delivered and could never be bothered to go pick it up. Little things, but they were big changes to me. Now, his work schedule has supposedly changed. No longer does he get home as early as he used to. I really tried to not be paranoid about it all, but it was driving me crazy. Eventually, I couldn't take it anymore, so I followed him. I followed him when he took our 9-month-old baby with him to go run several household errands under the guise of allowing me to relax. I found him with the woman he had previously cheated on me with, her on top of him in the driver's seat having sex, and our baby was in the back seat.
Oh,
he had
God.
sex. Yeah, he had sex with his mistress with our baby right there. It's beyond disgusting. If he wanted to use the excuse of running errands to go meet up with her, he didn't have to take the baby too. It's gross. He knew he was going to meet up with her for sex. Why would you take the baby? He said the baby was asleep and in the rear-facing car seat and had no clue what's going on. It's no different than when we have sex in our bedroom with the baby asleep in our room. How dare he? How dare he compare what he was doing with her to that? I set an emergency appointment with my therapist. I was seeing red, or beyond red, black, all black. Somehow I came out of that appointment even more mad. I just wanted to rage, and she kept trying to talk me down, and damn it, I don't want to be talked down right now. I don't want to be calm and rational. I want to scream and hit things and break things and destroy his life. I will be honest. I'm only posting this here so that I can get to the required account age and karma to post it in the infidelity group I was actually trying to post it in. I don't know where else to go where I can just commiserate on all the different ways I can destroy him now. That's all I want to do right now.
This isn't my main takeaway from this, but I find it so strange that Reddit has this weird, like, ranking up system before you can post on certain subreddits. Like, I get it. There's so many people on Reddit. You want to keep certain things out, and it makes it easier for moderation and whatnot for big subreddits.
Yeah.
But anyway, I always thought that was strange. Holy shit. Like, not only is the husband okay with having sex with the baby in the backseat, his mistress also has to be okay with this as well, which is just brain, like it's like
That's
exploding my brain cells.
Dude, I don't understand that. That's gross as hell. That is your child.
Yeah, and then to make the excuse that it's no different than what
the audacity,
him and his
bro.
wife do, like
I would scream.
What store do you go to get all that audacity?
I
need to know.
Literally scream.
Like, is it enough that you have to pay like 5 cents extra for a bag for all that audacity? Because I swear to God, that is insane.
That's wild. The top comment says, first go to a lawyer, get your documents and all that's yours. Tell your family and support so he can't twist this shit. This relationship is over. Oh, yeah, man, if he's willing to do it again after you guys supposedly worked on everything, this guy is not worth it.
Yeah. With your child?
With your child in the backseat. Oh my God. I would also be seeing black. I would be fucking homicidal if I was her.
Like, this is the first time I've ever seen someone, instead of saying that they were seeing red, that they saw black. I've never seen black used as like an emotion, like color, for rage.
Yeah.
But that's just when you become the Grim Reaper yourself, and you just want to just destroy everything.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, if you were to just like go and burn down his apartment or something, you'd probably be arrested for arson and shit like that. Like you should break him like mentally. Mm-hmm. Over a long period of time. And what better way to do that than with a divorce?
Yep. Someone asked, did you confront them? I'm curious how they both responded, and I would blow them both up. OP responded, of course I did. I went right up to the driver's side window and knocked very rapidly and loudly. They looked shocked. They were mostly clothed. He immediately opened the door and practically tossed her off of him and jumped out and started buttoning up his pants, telling me to calm down as I frantically tried to getting my baby out of the car. By that point, I was yelling at both of them, threatening them, and crying. He tried to stop me from leaving. I was trying to strap the baby into the car seat in my car, and he was telling me to calm down. I shouldn't drive in that state. Standing so that he basically had me trapped so I couldn't get into the driver's seat. She just stood there doing and saying nothing until she eventually got into her car and quickly drove away. I stopped saying anything, and he just stood there holding me in place, so I couldn't get into my car. I tried to calmly tell him that I would give myself a few minutes to calm down, but I couldn't do that with him there. I told him to get in his car and leave, and that at this point, I didn't care if he went running after her. He just needed to leave me immediately and stay away from me for the time being. He said he didn't trust me. He thought I was going to do something extreme. I told him I would be fine. Unlike him, I wouldn't do anything stupid with my baby in my care. Eventually, he agreed to leave. I sat in my car crying for about 10 minutes before I went home.
Yeah, I'm glad that she at least recognized that she probably shouldn't have been, like, driving or taking off immediately, being in that state, but also at the same time, fuck you, dude.
Yeah, no. I would not want to be around them either. I would take my baby somewhere fucking safe and then lose my shit.
I can't imagine. I can't imagine just the rest of that day and just the rest of that week, the days to come and the weeks to come, I just can't.
And telling her to calm down is nuts.
That's wild.
Nuts.
Like, ugh. Like, I get it. Like, like, at least, like, not from, like, he was, he's definitely being, like, calm down. Like, it's not that big of a deal. But, like, because you also don't want to, like, be in that state of mind and take off with, like, your baby. But, like, fuck, my God, dude, what the fuck?
That's insane. And for the fucking, the mistress to just be standing there not saying or doing anything, like, girl, if you don't get the fuck out, like, you don't get the fuck out of this.
He's my ride home. I can't, I'm just, like...
God.
I mean, I guess if you're gonna be that person, like, I mean, she's lucky that she'd get her ass beaten by
truly.
OP. But it's like, if you're that person, like, what else can you do other than just stand there in shame and embarrassment
leave
and a little bit of fear?
Leave. You leave. Just standing there watching, like, no, you leave.
She was probably paralyzed in fear that even if she wanted to leave, her feet just wouldn't let her.
Maybe.
Like,
God, that's so shitty. I really hope that they're getting divorced, or they are divorced already. Because this guy sucks and needs to be punched in the face.
Yeah. My next post was posted by Not Moving In. My boyfriend and I were supposed to move in together 2 weeks ago. He bought an $87,000 truck without telling me. I refused to move in with him. Whew. I don't know how much trucks usually go for.
I don't know.
That's a lot of fucking money. I'm very annoyed. He didn't even speak to me about it. We had so many discussions about moving in together, getting married, and then he goes and purchases a $2,000 truck more... Oh, sorry. Oh my God. I'm sorry, everyone. Will, if you want, you can keep that one in. That was fucking hilarious. We had so many discussions about moving in together, getting married, and then he goes and purchases a truck $2,000 more than his yearly salary. If you're asking how the truck can be $87,000, that's the price you get when you put every addition you want on it. Okay, so he tricked this thing out.
Damn.
Like 24 karat gold, like the nut sack hanging from the back of it. He showed me the truck, expecting me to be excited, and I was livid. When he bought this truck, we were only a month from moving in together. We got into a bad argument where he told me it was his money and he could do whatever he wanted with it. So I said fine, and I told him I'm not comfortable moving in with him anymore. I asked my landlord if my apartment was still available, and if I could renew my lease, and they said yes. Now my boyfriend is saying he can't afford his place and his truck. I don't feel bad, and you shouldn't. You shouldn't, sister. You shouldn't. You should have thought of that before buying something so expensive without talking to your girlfriend of 2 years. I've had some of his friends' girlfriends reach out to me saying that I should support him, and one even say that I'm not loyal, and this shows I wouldn't support him if we were married since I run away when finances get bad. That's
okay,
bullshit.
trad wife. Shut the fuck up.
You have to endure, as that one guy said on the, fucking Fresh and Fit podcast.
God,
that's bullshit. He didn't lose his job or get hurt. He bought an expensive item without discussing it.
Yep.
I've been trying to get him to return the truck because it's already affecting his finances badly. He has only had this truck for 2 weeks, and he's worried that in the next month or two, he won't be able to cover all the expenses he usually has. This past weekend, we had another argument, and I think our relationship is going to end. I'm not helping him pay for this truck, and I'm not moving in with him.
Yep.
I've asked for a break, and we'll be thinking about what to do.
Well, if it isn't the consequences of your own actions.
Yeah, oh my God. Brought to you on a silver platter.
Dude.
That probably cost a lot less than $87,000.
Fuck this guy. Fuck this guy. Especially if he expects you to fucking help. No.
Yeah.
No.
And also, oh man, talk about a lucky break, being able to get your apartment back.
Yeah.
You know, around here, it's like you put your apartment up for like, you end your lease or whatever, you move to a new apartment, that your apartment is going to be snatched up so fast.
Yeah. That's some solid luck. Like, that's fate right there, telling you, hey, this is not gonna work out. Stay in your apartment.
It's like he's only had it for 2 weeks. Worried that the next month or two won't be able to cover all the expenses he usually has. Well, maybe you should have thought of that first, my guy.
Like, why would you just be like, yeah, let's add everything in this bitch, $87,000.
What could you have possibly added?
God, you're insane.
Yeah. One comment saying dump any moron who spends $1,700 a month on a 5-year loan for a toy while being unable to make rent. He probably like jacked the tires way up or whatever, the suspension way up.
That's
he
probably
has
lifted fucking shit.
Those like annoying ass like beams on the top of the truck too. Probably has a bunch of different horns.
Probably got a bunch of fucking stickers on the back.
Yeah, those are the cheapest ones on there, probably.
Yeah.
But,
I can smell this guy.
what does he smell like?
Asshole, swamp ass, covered with axe and tobacco.
Yeah, he might have sunflower
Cigarettes.
seeds, split sunflower seeds in his like on the floor and in his like cup
This
holders.
truck's a mess. He's only had it for 2 weeks. Yeah. It's a mess.
There's an update. Looking back at the situation now, months later, I can see that I was being set up to be financially abused. When I broke up with my ex, I thought that we were financially incompatible and that unfortunately it took this large purchase happening to see it. But I can see now that's not the case. My ex made a plan in his head, and what made sense to him was for me to pay most of the expenses, and he thought this was okay, and that I should be okay with it too. Even though I can see the reality of what he was trying to do, I can't hate my ex because he helped start me on this path of looking at my finances. I remember when we first started dating and I went to pay for an item and my card declined, and without batting an eye, even though it was a little embarrassing, I took out another card and paid. I was used to this happening every once in a while because I was literally living paycheck to paycheck. I'm not putting down anyone where that's the case. But in my situation then, I was living way above my means. I would justify every single want and get it, and I thought because I was making minimum payments and on time, I wasn't as bad as the next person. When the situation with my card happened, after we got back to my ex's car, he kindly asked if this type of thing happens all the time, and I told him sometimes, and he basically gave me advice. He didn't try to force me to stop spending. He asked me to track my purchases and recommend a few apps. The first 2 months were the 2 months that we were seeing each other. He would encourage me every other day or every once in a while just to track what I spent, to shop like I usually did, but to track everything. Being able to see how much I was spending, especially when I broke it down into categories, was astounding. There was 1 month I spent $68 on bagels. It wasn't for work. It wasn't for other people. It was me stopping at a bagel place every morning and getting a bagel. I would sometimes get variations, which is why the bagels cost so much. Okay. So it looks like OP, also obviously had her own like financial stuff. And at some point it was kind of like maybe like the roles were reversed or a little bit. But an $87,000 truck.
Yeah. That's nuts.
Yeah. I'm skipping forward a little bit. I'm not trying to paint my ex as a saint. I'm explaining why he had such a positive impact on me financially. So when the truck purchase happened and he refused to budge, I honestly was shocked, and seeing how bad the situation was, I had to walk away. It's been about 6 months since everything's happened, and I'm doing very well. I recently paid off my student loans last month. I now only have my car left, so a few grand left to pay. I also have a small savings. Because of that, I changed the focus, and I'm putting the majority of my income now towards my car. I'm not rich by any means, but I'm definitely living within my means, and I'm okay with that. The last two things I'm updating are on my raise on my ex's truck. I had a few people message me about the raise, and unfortunately I did not get it due to a big mistake I made on a project.
Rip.
Once I realized the mistake, yeah, that sucks. I knew that it would jeopardize things for my raise because I had made the mistake so close to my evaluation, and I didn't get the raise.
Take a shot every time she says raise.
But I fixed the mistake, and when I get reevaluated after 3 months, I'm hopeful I'll get it this time.
Woo!
Losing the possibility of it made me realize even more that I had made the right decision because I would be so screwed right now if I hadn't ended my relationship with my ex. We've spoken once, and that's when we broke up. I cut communication completely because he was still trying to fix things without addressing the truck and the fact that he was keeping it. I know from a person close to him that actually 4 months after we broke up, he did a voluntary repossession. I also know the truck is gone because he deleted all the pictures he had of it. Oh, womp womp. I was actually relieved to hear that for him because he can hopefully start to fix the situation he got himself in. That is true. That is true. We might just be too far deep into bullying mode at this point. I mean, I really do want the best for my ex, and I don't know the thought process that led him to getting this truck or what could have influenced him. But hopefully he can get back to where he was and make more improvements. Yeah, it's, I guess it's not a bad thing to still, obviously hope the best for an ex. I still think, like, the $87,000 truck, like, what could have, like, possibly possessed him to want to spend all that much on that? I don't know. Hopefully she gets the raise, and hopefully the both of you haven't gone your separate ways. Things will work out for the better financially, and to the guy, maybe don't spend that much on a fucking car.
Maybe don't do that. Maybe take your own advice and track your payments and be smart with your money. And my last story here, it's not posted by it was posted by a now deleted user. When I first read this title, I was like, oh, but no, it's not what you think. GF cheated with brother. But it's their brother, like OP's brother, not girlfriend's brother. I was like, oh, okay.
It's like, hold on, guys. I can see what you're thinking.
Guys,
stop it.
Today's the last day I will ever talk to my girlfriend or my brother. I'm typing this in a bathroom stall as she, him, and a bunch of our friends drink in the bar. They don't know that I know what they did. They don't know I've seen their texts to each other. My friends don't know I know they covered for them on multiple occasions. I'm enjoying this last night and then blocking them on everything and moving to Chicago and never contacting them again.
Oh, damn, Chicago.
Damn, Chicago. Chicago. Yikes. That's a big ol' yikes. But honestly, good for you, OP. Get out of there. You don't need to stay in a place. If you have the means to, you don't need to stay in a place that just reminds you of everything that went down. You deserve a fresh new start. Because that's fucked up. And fuck your brother for that, too.
Yeah, 100%. Like, that's not something I would wish on, like, my worst enemy. Like,
No.
I wouldn't, like,
That's like a different kind of hurt.
Yeah. I've never been in a situation where I've been so wronged or hurt by, like, the people that I surround myself with that I've had to move out of state or just move far away.
Yeah.
I hope I never have to. I hope, I like I said, I wouldn't wish that on anyone. And
That's
if there's
terrifying.
anyone watching this that has been in a similar situation where you've been wronged or hurt so bad that you had to leave, I'm sorry.
That's terrible.
It's terrible.
There's a small little update. I sent the screenshots of the text to my parents and the partners of the friends who helped cover it up. All their numbers have been blocked. A friend of mine who wasn't involved is going to text me how they all react when they find out. Currently at the airport, my flight is in an hour. Thank you for all the words of support. Made me feel a lot less shitty about this whole thing. Oh. Damn, now they all know, bitch. Good.
Man.
That's fucked up of your friends too, dude.
Yeah.
Ugh.
But that is
playing devil's advocate. I can kind of see on their friend's side, like, you don't really want to get involved, but it's like, if they're asking you to cover for them and then you are covering for them, you are getting involved. It's like,
yeah,
Come on, dude.
Yeah.
Be a better friend. Be honest.
To err is human, or whatever. I can't believe I just willingly did this when I'm just like, I do this. We both do this all the time.
All the time. And then that's where the meme comes in.
Earthquake. Yep, we're having an earthquake.
And I don't even mean to do it either. I bet some people are like, oh, he probably he just it's just for one more goof and gaff, one more laugh. I swear to God, I was never aware of the fact that I did it in the first place. I don't even think about it then. I didn't think about it then.
I used to do it ironically, but I fear it's not ironic anymore.
I feel like I do that, and I don't even want to do it because I know he's gonna do it.
Do it, Will.
Where it's like, I'm the editor. I'm gonna put like the hand of you doing it before on top of your hand there.
Yeah, I could totally do that.
Yep.
What was I saying?
I don't know.
My last one here is actually, it's fresh off the presses, everybody. As at the time of posting, at the time of reading this story, this was posted 5 hours ago by Low Feature 5374. I don't think we've read a story that was this fresh, but I had to grab this.
I can smell the fresh ink.
Yeah. My neighbors are getting divorced because of me.
Oof.
I've been neighbors with this couple for 7 months. They were nice, welcoming, and great. They would invite me to their flat for drinks sometimes, and I would happily join them. At the beginning of last month, they asked me if I would be comfortable in joining them for a threesome. I had a what the fuck reaction, but they assured me they didn't want to force me or anything, and I could say no if I wanted. They went on to further explain that they like to bring a third person in their bed from time to time to prevent their sex life from getting boring. I thought about it for a few days, then agreed, because why not? We decided to do it on the New Year's, and it was a great experience. I enjoyed the time with the wife. Next. But what about the
I could have done with
husband?
without the dude, but I enjoyed the time with the wife.
You telling me you didn't have a good time with the husband? Like, I mean,
that's hilarious.
You know, to each their own. But if you're gonna be in if you're gonna be in that situation, like, I don't know, maybe maybe the husband likes to watch. I don't know. Maybe he wasn't involved. We don't know. It's consenting adults here. It's all consenting adults. They went on to wait, where were we? Next day, I get a few texts from the guy calling me a bunch of names. I go to their flat to ask for an explanation, but he wasn't there, just his wife. I ask her about what happened, and turns out dude was pissed about the previous night. He felt his wife seemed way more enthusiastic with me and enjoyed her time with me more than him, so picked a fight with her about it before he left.
Oof.
I don't think that was the case. There wasn't much difference between how she performed with me and him, other than the fact that I lasted longer. His wife told me she would... God. Emotional damage. His wife told me she would handle this herself, but it didn't really work out. Their fights continued over the next couple weeks, and it reached the point where he was physically violent towards her. I guess that was her breaking point. She's now filed for divorce, and I just regret accepting their proposal.
No, bestie, that they are not getting divorced because of you. They are getting divorced because he is a piece of shit and abusive. Not because of you, King.
100%. And who obviously can't even fucking communicate with another human being.
Yeah,
because if you had these feelings about, about jealousy or any kind of envy about what happened during this threesome, which like when you were going to enter into like this, like I've never been a part of a threesome before, but I would imagine that like I said, consenting adults, mature consenting adults, which most of the time I'm sure there's someone that's not emotionally mature about it maybe, but you should talk with each other. There should be communication that, that there's no hurt feelings. And if there is, sit down and talk about it like actual adults and work through it without resorting to fucking physical violence, because then that just makes you a fucking piece of shit.
Yeah, dude. Like, fuck this guy. What the hell?
So yeah, no, OP, your neighbors aren't getting divorced because of you.
Like, dude, if you had an issue with it, why the fuck did you
agree to it?
Like, what are we doing, dude?
Yeah. Again, are we not consenting adults here? Are we not just consenting adults? Are we adults here? Obviously not.
Literally insane. I hate it.
This one comment saying, nah, you're not the reason. If they actually did it before, I bet he only liked it when the third was a woman. And OP had responded saying, they'd been doing it for more than a year, and the third would mostly be a woman. I'm only the second guy they involved.
Wow. There it is.
So yeah, he probably was just not a fan of that. And,
yeah, he did it to himself.
Yep. If the wife had come to him and been like, are you comfortable with this? Like, in a perfect scenario, been like, are you comfortable with this? And he could have just said no, and they could have talked it out. But, play stupid games, win stupid prizes, like a divorce.
Fucking dumbass. We hope you enjoyed those crazy ass fucking true off my chest stories, because these were pretty tea-filled. They were pretty spicy.
Some would say that my teacup is overflowing.
Well, guys, if you enjoyed these spicy Reddit story videos and you want to binge them because you haven't seen all the other ones, there's going to be a whole playlist linked at the end of the video. And if you don't want to wait till the end of the video, then go to our channel and go to playlists, and it'll be right there front and center, waiting for you to click on it.